Young niggas run the streets. My 40 cal on me, stick it right between the seats. A mirror jeans pudgy. New Versace sneakers out your budget. Off-white jacket. Fuck niggas can't touch me. Hustle hard, I got plaques out. Today I wanna bring a couple racks out. Hotline bling beating packs out. A fish on my line. Finally got them spitting stacks out. So what I did, swipe that motherfucker till it maxed out. The boy from the ghetto, I learned to kick the table when I wanna shake the jello. The word on the streets, I got them bags for the LO. No talking in the sheets, I play these hoes like a cello. Hello, I kick more shit and got more flavor. I be ducked off, somewhere exclusive with no neighbors. You can see me in the room where the money getting made. I just paid $50 for a dope boy fade. I stayed down on my hustle, ran the racks up. I finally got my shit clicking. I was down bad, fucked up and scuffed up. Now all I do is eat chicken. We set the tones in the streets. Real niggas made bones in the streets. You focus on your shit, watch that money go up. It ain't too many of on my head that's fucking with us.
Crosstown born like Saddam, but a big human. Straps in every palm, need an octopus to get to him. Chopper with the drum, off his head, Takashi lips loose. Ghost possess the bomb, I'm alarm, how this shit move. I died, came back and bought pressure. Your blow fell off and lost self. Me back boss, a go-getter in the transport, gotta eat that cost, I know better. Elemental shit, I just float through the building. Gucci loaf it up, got the hate on kill them. Pickpocket flow, so the hoes gon' feel them. When your blanket moving slow, it's like the panoramic in. You can think you kinda smart, think you floating on the wave. Then you find yourself floating in the ocean with fillets. Package goes to custom club from Kuwait. No need to know the language, I just know get paid.
I stayed down on my hustle, ran the racks up. I finally got my shit clicking. I was down bad, fucked up and scuffed up. Now all I do is eat chicken. We set the tones in the streets. Real niggas made bones in the streets. You focus on your shit, watch that money go up. It ain't too many of on my head that's fucking with us.
Yo, it's your boy Marita, boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. Yeah, boredom. I stick to my word. I remember what you said last night on Triple Threat Friday. So here I am. Shout out to J6. What did it say? J6? What did it say? J6 and Z. I think that's J. Y'all be having these names be confusing as hell. But shout out to you, gang. Shout out to Damian Franklin. Shout out to Boredom and Clicks and this biatch. Hey, look. Tonight we're gonna get into Ceddy Nash put up on us last night at Triple Threat Friday. Man, if y'all weren't tuned in to Triple Threat Friday with me, Mickey Truth, the queen of paperwork, Music 101, the breakdown king, man, y'all be missing out, man. Listen, Triple Threat Friday is before I was on Triple Threat Friday was one of my favorite shows on YouTube. You know what I mean? I had found myself waiting on Triple Threat Friday to and then to pull up and join the chat. I used to like being in the chat on Triple Threat Friday too, because y'all be lit in the chat. But yeah, last night Ceddy Nash put up on us on Triple Threat Friday. If y'all been watching Triple Threat Friday consistently, if y'all done been able to get some treats, we had King AK47 pull up on us on Triple Threat Friday a couple weeks back. Then we had Mama Duck pull up on us last Friday on Triple Threat Friday, and she addressed the stuff that Butter was saying about her, you know, actually having relations with Lil J and stuff. And you gotta understand, this woman is currently going through the trial of the murder of her son. Currently, the FBG Duck murder case is going on currently right now as we speak. And she pulled up on us on Triple Threat Friday to address the rumors that Butter had put out there, who was her son-in-law, who's her grandchild's father. Butter has a child by her daughter, who is also FBG Duck's sister. So, you know, it's a lot of nuance in that whole situation. But she came on and she addressed the situation, and much respect to Mama Duck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mama Duck for doing that, because that, you know, like, you gotta think this lady is dealing with a lot, and for her to come up there and address that, I mean, she didn't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with what she got going on right now. So for her to do that. That show how strong she is, and we appreciated her coming up on Triple Threat Friday and blessing the platform. Then we had this weekend, yesterday. Mickey True dropped the paperwork. Shout out to Mickey True, the queen of paperwork. Shout out to Music 101. Go subscribe to their channels. Mickey dropped the paperwork. And lo and behold, Ceddy Nash name was not even in the paperwork. So this whole thing about Ceddy Nash snitching and all of this and that there is dead now, y'all. It's dead. We done had the queen of paperwork pull his paperwork, go over his paperwork. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. He never narrated like the lady from Sacramento said. All of it was rumor. When we got the paperwork, looked over the paperwork, his name is not in the paperwork at all. Mickey said she was kind of like, damn, she paid the money for the paperwork, and his name not even in the paperwork at all. You know what I'm saying? So that was put to bed. But Ceddy came up to to talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's some shit I do. You know, you accuse me of something. You say this and that, and when I mean you, I mean the internet. You know what I mean? Because we all know that this is the beast. And when it comes out that it's not true, and we have factual, documented paperwork to prove it's not true, I would take my victory lap as well. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, I would. So shout out to him. He stayed on Triple Threat for a long time. Said he was on Triple Threat probably the longest that anybody has been up there. I think said it was up there for at least about 2-3 hours. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't all we talked about. We talked about a lot of the stuff too, but we did talk about that. So if y'all missed Triple Threat Friday, y'all can go to Music 101 page, subscribe to his page, his channel. I mean, look at his lives and this up there. You can also go to Mickey Truth channel and subscribe to her page and look it up there too. Me, I do little clips of it. I got to get my StreamYard to where it connects to.
I made this video before.
Hold on, goddamn.
In the last 48 hours.
Ease
That's
up.
not the sketchiest thing I've ever. I mean,
ease up, couple. I got you. Ease up.
Before this video starts, I
Stop
made this
it.
video before the lawsuit.
Stop it, cuff boy. I got to get my platform. Some kind of way my computer won't let me connect to the live through StreamYard. It keeps saying my browser is unsupported by my browser. So, but after a while, all three of us will be going live from our pages, and that way it could combine all of our subscribers. Like you won't have to go if you subscribe to me, you won't have to go to music page to see me on Triple Threat Friday. If you subscribe to Mickey, you won't have to go to my page to see Mickey on Triple Threat Friday. You could just be subscribed to Mickey and see it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we got going on right now. But Triple Threat Friday is lit, it's growing, it's fun. The topics that we discuss are trending topics, hot topics that you guys want to talk about. So yeah, man, pull up the Triple Threat Friday, man. Who knows? But I keep telling you, you can't even predict who we might have on there this Friday. I'm telling you, every week somebody been pulling up. Somebody, who's maybe got some notoriety in whatever field, whatever, section of life they got going on, but they've been pulling up. So that lets us know that what we're doing is good and it's growing. So I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the people that be in the chat. That you guys really are the life force of the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Boredom and Clicks. You know what I'm saying? She be up in there rocking with us. Shout out to Galen Kroger. Appreciate you. What else? Oh yeah, man. So we all done seen the situation that's been going on with P. Diddy and his longtime confidant, liaison, 50 Shades of Grey partner, Cassie. And last week, Cassie came out with some horrifying allegations against P. Diddy, saying that he abused her, he beat her, he sexually abused her, made her do all kind of things that she didn't want to do, but she did because she felt pressured, because she felt like he had such control over her life. And It's alleged she sued him for $30 million. I promise you, in less than 48 hours, it hit news, hit the airways that Diddy had settled with Cassie. Now we don't know what the amount is, but I guarantee you it was an NDA attached to it. And if you don't know what an NDA is, that's a non-disclosure agreement, which means that she probably won't be able to talk about this for an extended period of time. Probably won't be able to do any videos, interviews or anything like that. If I had to guess, this NDA probably gonna be about a 20-year NDA. You know what I'm saying? That's so people won't know the extent or more about what happened to Cassie, because if she wouldn't have settled with him and probably wouldn't have signed this NDA, she would have been able to go all on a whole media tour, slandering him, telling people what happened and telling her side. And I think that was just a situation that Diddy didn't want to grow more legs than it already had. So he immediately settled out with her, came to a settlement. We don't know how much it was. She was asking for 30 dudes. We think she got 30. I don't think she got 30, but I think she probably got 20. And that's just my opinion. But I'm gonna say this: as fast as he settled out with her, she probably could have got more. Or maybe she got the 30. Maybe she was in there, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about it though. We're gonna talk about it because it is a trending topic and a lot of people talking about it. Shout out, salute to Randy, salute to you. Um, we also gonna talk about the YNW Melly case a little bit. We want to talk about the cell phone situation with Moretti and Melly's mom. So what happened is the Melly's defense team is trying to get the phone thrown out and all evidence attained from the seizure of the phone thrown out, and they're citing that the phone was illegally searched and seized, but it also um, they had no right to serve the warrant for Melly's mom's phone. This is the argument, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go over to see the validity of their claim. Um, Straight up, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Also, we're gonna talk about Will Smith nasty ass, man. Listen, man. Hey, look, bro. Will Smith. Hey, look, check this out, gang. Hey, bro. Look, hey, man. Look, bro. God damn, Will. God damn, bro. You all over the place, Will, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You just need to go somewhere and just disappear to you real old, dog, and just come back as an old actor like Morgan Freeman, dog, so we could just forget about this whole portion of your life, bro. Like, I don't even know where to start at, bro. You know what I'm saying? But allegations that came out from Will's former bodyguard, and this is trigger warning, y'all. So, hey, they said Will, and Dwayne Martin. If y'all don't know who Dwayne Martin is, Dwayne Martin is the star of the movie Above the Rim, that co-starred Tupac Shakur, and he's saying that Dwayne Martin, who also was the former husband of Tisha Campbell Martin. Tisha Campbell Martin played Martin Lawrence's girlfriend on the show Martin, and she also played one of the co-stars on the movie House Party. She's been around for a long time. A lot of us know Tisha Campbell, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of the old black movies and shows and stuff like that. And she was Dwayne Martin's wife for a very long time until they filed for divorce a couple years back. And they all were really cool with Will and Jada. So they were like a couple type friendship type deal. And I'm gonna get into it a little bit as we get to that when we get to that subject, but pretty much uh Will's former bodyguard say he walked in on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin doing the unthinkable, man. You know what I'm saying? And he said he saw this with his own eyes, you know what I'm saying? And it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And it's big news now. We're gonna touch on it a little later on in the topics or whatever. But it's just crazy, like Will, like this shit crazy as fuck. Like, what y'all got going on, gang? Like, But we'll get into it later on, dog. That shit crazy as hell. For real, for real. And I'm gonna tell y'all something too. I had already heard years ago that I don't know how true this is. It's just on their rumor. But they were saying that Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and Dwayne Martin was pressuring Gina to join the melee. You know what I'm talking about? You get what I'm saying? You y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they ever got him. But say Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and it's allegedly, and then anything it's under fair use, y'all. This is alleged, and this is not fact. It's just rumor. Was trying to get Gina to, and now our powers combine. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They said that Dwayne Martin, Jada Pinkett, and Will Smith had already, and now our powers combined. You know what I'm saying? And they said the thing was Gina was the long holdout. Like, she was like, I don't know. Nah, I don't think so. She was like, like on the fence about the shit. Like, and they kept trying to pressure her to, and now our powers combine. You get what I'm saying? Like, they were trying to Clarice, quid pro quo, Clarice. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? They were trying to, shout out the anonymous ones. That's what they were trying to do in that bid, though. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it though. But I'm gonna first, before we get into that, I'm gonna play the Cuff Boys video where he's talking about what Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy Combs, CEO of Bad Boy Records, was talking about what Puff Diddy, Puff Daddy allegedly did to Cassie. This shit crazy, y'all. This shit crazy.
Settled in the last 48 hours. If that's not the sketchiest thing ever, I mean, clearly shows that he probably did majority of this and he didn't want more to come out. So here's the rest of the 35-page lawsuit right here. P. Diddy was sued in federal court in New York by his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura. She alleges that Mr. Combs lured her into an ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-fueled lifestyle, and into a romantic relationship with him. Within 2 years of the pair meeting in 2005, Combs signed her to his record label, Bad Boy Records. Soon after, Ventura claims in the suit that Combs exerted his power and influence over her throughout the course of their professional and romantic relationship. According to the complaint, she was 19 when they met, and Combs was 37, and their business relationship lasted until 2019. The complaint details claims that Combs was physically violent towards her, controlled all aspects of her personal life, and introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, and forced her to engage in various sexual acts with other men during the time. Yes, you heard me correctly. Apparently, there's details in here that this man was filming her do stuff with other men. This is the worst accusation you can get from, a former partner. So if this is true, he's obviously a piece of shit. But I'm going to try to find this full document and read the interesting details of this because this is insane. All right, so I found the document right here. Sean Combs, trigger warning in here. That's pretty crazy that has to be in a lawsuit. The truth, however, is that Cassie was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Mrs. Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and trafficking. Or were to Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punished, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, and black eyes and bleeding. Blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura. Bro is a psychopath. Blew up someone's.
Hey, so already just listening to the things that allegedly he did to her, this dude, and it's allegedly because I don't know exactly what happened. But this dude is a monster. Like, I get what's love got to do with it. I continue to turn the vibe from this motherfucker. Like, from what this lady is describing, I tend to believe her. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is too detailed and it's too widespread over an extended period of time. She got witnesses, she got pictures, you know, when he would beat up, she, you know, like it had got to the point where she was like documenting it as well. I believe most of this stuff what she said. You know what I'm saying? Facts. You know what I'm saying? I believe Diddy, you know, did this shit, dog. Whatever they say he did that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where uh I mean, to the point to where however much she, let's say she did exaggerate on some of this shit. I still don't believe she exaggerated enough to where he's not a monster. He's not culpable. He's not somebody that abused this girl. It's definitely clearly that he abused this girl. He beat this girl, you know what I'm saying, for the amount of incidences that she named, from the people that she talked to, from the people that backed her up, from the pictures and all this stuff that she had to document this. Yeah, this dude a monster. I'm gonna say this though. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Being what we done, you know, heard about Diddy over the years, and being what I know about people with power, with money, with influence. And why I say people, because it could be men or women. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody got money, like money and power and influence, what's left to do in the world for those people other than to try to assert their dominance and control over other people by using the money? Like, this is why this is a lot of the reason why when people get money, they end up doing the things that they already wanted to do in their mind and their dreams that they never could do because when they didn't have money. So if Puffy had this type of fetish or some shit that he was into, of course, when he get money, he's going to create that world. The things this lady described is like crazy as hell. You know, Puffy is, you know, from what we hear, you know, he's zesty. And then if you listen to what she said, it line up with the zestiness. You know what I'm saying? This girl say this man would have her get male escorts to join what he called a freak off. A freak off. He would call it a freak off. You know what I'm saying? A FO. And he would watch the male uh escorts have sex with her, giving her orders to tell her what to do with the male escorts while he's side of the cut, tippy toe banding it. You know what I'm talking about? Pleasing himself. You feel me? So this is some kind of fetish that Buddy got, and it lines up with the zestiness type of shit. She say that one time she was doing a freak off for him, and he got mad and just started beating her up. Like, in the midst of the whole shit, just started like beating her and shit like that. Like, so that let me know he got a monster inside. You know what I mean? He got like a monster inside. He got like a lust demon, but he got like a little monster. He got like a big monster inside, a little evil monster inside, like that eternal monster inside. You know what I'm talking about? Like, for real, for real. And he can't. He got so he done got to the point where got so much money. He got so much influence. He done been doing this for so long to people, to women, because this ain't the only woman that he alleged to have done this to where it's just like it's spilling over and it's getting out now. You know what I'm saying? And none of this shit surprised me. None of this shit surprised me. I would not be surprised if it's not gonna be more women that come out, you know what I'm saying, with allegations against Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I keep trying to tell people, like when we was talking about old boy with the monster he got inside. When you listen to these stories, you know that this ain't the first time that these people done did these situations, and most likely it won't be the last. Because unless these people get some type of help or get locked up, more than likely they're going to offend again. And that's why it's so important for people to speak up and speak out when these situations happen to them, because it's not just about you, it's about the other people that could potentially gonna be hurt by these type of people if you don't say nothing or you don't do your what you can do to get these people locked up. And that's one thing I want to say about the situation with Cassie. I'm gonna play the video a little bit longer, but that's one situation that I will say about with Cassie that kind of disappointing a little bit, because if he did all of these things to you, why did you not seek criminal um charges against him? You see what I'm saying? Like she never tried to do anything, try to get anything criminal. Like it, it, it I believe these things happen to you, but you made it look like a money grab. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the money, you gone now. You can't talk about it. Like this shit finna get swept on the rug, and he's still finna be able to harm other people. You see what I'm saying? Like if you say he harmed you, which we believe he did, why won't you try to stop him from harming someone else? You know, somebody else's daughter or something like that. So it's making it like you kind of like let the victims of people like this down because you made it about money. You feel what I'm saying? But I I do think now, being that we know what happened or we know what she said happened, I do think now that the light gonna be on him much more, and he ain't got too many more times to slip up, and it's gonna be another situation that come out, and his ass gonna get roped off of this. I'm telling you this shit, bro. I'm telling you, because if he beat other women like he beat, like that girl said he beat her, the next woman, I hope that she have enough courage to come out, or the current one that's going on. You know what I'm saying? That he may be doing this too. That's afraid to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe them seeing Cassie, stand up and say something and get a little bag and get on by business. Maybe the next person might take it a little step farther and actually try to get him put in jail for this stuff, whatever, whatever. And what I mean, that's what I'm just saying, because I'm just thinking about what this lady said he did. Now I'm gonna say this too. I don't think Cassie was totally against this type of I'm talking about the sexual shit. Cause I don't give a fuck what you tell. I know I'm not in it, so I understand people get Stockholm syndrome and all of that. But for the extended a period of time that this shit went on, she could have been done stop doing this shit, dog. I tend to believe that Cassie was influenced, but I tend to believe that she kind of like she a little freaky too, right? And I kind of believe that the money that Diddy had, the power that Diddy had, she went along with the shit because she a little freaky too. Plus, Diddy got a lot of money. He got me in this 10 album contract, so he got a lot of control over my career. It's like, why not? You get what I'm saying? It's why not? I think that's what it was at first. I think it was like, shit, we having fun. Why not? Let's live. I'm with Diddy. Why not? You feel what I'm saying? I'm making money. He got a lot of influence. He gonna make me a star. Why not? I think it was that. And I think after it started, they started being in a relationship, and she started seeing that the actual deviant side of him and all of that shit. I think that's when she was like, "Oh hell no! Like this, he want me to do what now? Like, come on now. First we was just, tying each other up in here and put, what I mean, like put oil on your shit. Now if you want me to get an escort and do all of this type of shit." And I think she was complicit in that at first too. But I think once she saw that monster come out, they say he used to want her to do what they call freak offs every week. That's with her, another man, and him. Every week. They say one time she was at her birthday party. He called her friends threw her a surprise birthday party. He called her and told her, leave the party. I want to do a freak off now. She was like, nah, I ain't leaving my surprise birthday party. Like, my friends threw me a surprise birthday party. Like, what are you talking about? I don't, that say he was upset, highly upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll go try to find her, beat up, and then make her have a freak off. Like, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I do think she wasn't with that shit at some point, but I think like probably like the first maybe once or twice. I think it was like a fun type of thing for her. You know what I'm saying? With them and her. And then I think after a while, she realized that this dude is a monster. He got like a evil demon, lust, nasty demon inside of her, side of him. And she said one time that they was actually engaged in a freak off. This is what Diddy termed the situations that they would have. He would call them freak offs. And she said one time that she was engaged in a situation with him and the other guy, whatever. Diddy just got mad and started beating her up. Like, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. For real, for real. For real. Shout out to Ashley. But I'm gonna keep playing the Cowboys though.
Forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. I mean, why the do famous people always turn out to be fucking weird, dude? Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. Demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous she is. So they did meet when she was 19 years old and he was 37. Combs was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Miss Ventura savagely. These beatings were witnessed by Mr. Combs' staff and employees of Bad Boy Entertainment and Mr. Combs' related businesses, but no one dared to speak up. That's so fucked up, dude. His own employees were scared to come forward because they don't want to, they don't want to put their family in danger or themselves in danger. Following these episodes of horrific abuse, Mr. Combs would immediately attempt to hide Miss Ventura and the evidence of his violent rage. He often showered her with the gifts following incidents of physical violence. This is just textbook douchebaggery right here. That's what this is, boys. Frequently reminded her of his ability to cause serious harm, whether by requiring her to carry his gun, blowing up a car of a musician. Oh, it was a musician, okay. Illegal substances and threats of violence. Every time she hid, Mr. Combs' vast network of corporations and affiliated entities found her, and those who worked for Mr. Combs' companies implored her to return to him. Many went as far to explicitly state that her failure to return to him would hinder her success in the entertainment industry. Wow! Clearly he was telling them to say that to her too. When she believed that she had finally separated from him, she joined Mr. Combs for a dinner, after which he forced her into her home and R-worded her while she repeatedly said no, and tried to push him away. She now fully escaped him, but the harm and the assaults and sexual caused her experience for nearly a decade will forever haunt her. She requires intensive medical and psychological care to recover from her trauma. She cannot, however, continue to live in silence about what she endured. She remains immensely powerful and dangerous. She seeks justice for decades of her life that Mr. Combs took away from her with threats of violence. At all relevant times, Mr. Combs met the definition of an employer of the plaintiff. Shit. So he's technically, he's an employer because she's signed to his record label. Within a year of signing.
I'm gonna say this. The more I listen to this shit, she definitely should have pursued criminal charges, but she should have hit that nigga for way more than 30 million. That ain't shit, dog, to a dude that got almost $1 billion or $1 billion. Like, that's a drop in the bucket. He gonna tax write that shit off and make that shit back on something else. Bro, look, she supposed to have really scored one for the victims. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But, that's just my opinion. She got her own reasoning, so it is what it is. And this stuff did happen to her. So, she stood up. She just didn't stand up as much as I would like her to stand up, but that's her choice. She's the victim. She the person that went through that horrific situation. So I'm not gonna bash her to that extent. But did y'all hear when they said that he had someone's car blew up? They talk about Kid Cudi. They say she had a brief situation with Kid Cudi, and Diddy found out about it. And I don't know if he placed a bomb on Kid Cudi's car or whatever, but he blew up Kid Cudi's car in his driveway. Like, how the fuck? Like, how come none of us knew about this shit? Like, how can somebody do this shit nowadays in the modern times and we don't hear about this? Like, somebody who big like Diddy. This is stuff that we hear like in mafia movies and shit like that. So y'all mean to tell me this man done got away with blowing up somebody's car and nobody said a damn thing about it? Like Kid Cudi, no, like nobody. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the first times we hearing about this shit. Like, this shit is like shit you hear in a movie. Like, so can you imagine the fear that he was putting in her and whoever else he was doing this to. They allege that, and this is all fair use. This is a rumor. This is not true, but they allege that the death surrounding his wife, Kim Porter, was suspicious. You get what I'm saying? They said she was about to come out with a tell-all book, telling, everything that she went through in a relationship with Diddy. And they saying that her death was suspicious. Wink, wink, nod, nod, hint, hint. You know what I'm saying? Do we know that for a fact? No, but this is what the rumors are. And this shit crazy as hell till we find out that, Diddy is this type of monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. This is worse to me than surviving goddamn Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is worse to me than surviving R. Kelly. In my opinion, this shit is way worse than what R. Kelly was alleged to have done. You feel what I'm saying? Like Diddy is actually like beating motherfuckers and threatening motherfuckers and blowing up cars, and he threatened to kill and possibly even unaliving somebody, because they saying that the Kim Porter death is suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit crazy.
He became deeply entrenched in Miss Ventura's life, almost immediately asserting possession and control over her, inserting himself into all aspects of her career and personal life. After rehearsal for their performance on MTV, Mr. Combs walked around in a robe with a drink in his hand, flaunting his lavish party lifestyle to his label's newly signed artists. During hair and makeup leading up to the performance, Miss Ventura's hairstylists and Mr. Combs' makeup artist told her that he was interested in her. She shrugged it off as gossip, emphasizing the age and power dynamic early on in their working relationship. Yeah, this is like clearly, this guy his power dynamic because he was her boss and was rich as and he's just clearly not mentally stable. Like, what else can you say besides this? I mean, after returning to New York after a Las Vegas trip, during which she endured a brief hospital stay, who by then was fully healthy, went out to a club with her friends. When Mr. Combs saw her out, he reprimanded her, telling her to go home and take care of herself. At the time, she thought that her record label was looking out for her well-being and that Mr. Combs had her best interest in mind. Mr. Combs also ensured he was intertwined with Miss Ventura's personal and social life. For instance, by inviting himself to Miss Ventura's 21st birthday, he also brought along famous musicians and producers. I always find it so fucking weird. Like, obviously it's legal for someone to date someone above 18 and you're like, 40, like he was 37 and she was 19 or whatever. But what the do you talk about with someone that young? That's so weird to me still. Like, even if it's legal, it's just weird as fuck. Like, what are you going to conversate about? You're literally double their age. You could be their father. Oh, it must be so awkward. Like, it's creepy. He knew she was in a relationship at the time, nevertheless pursued her on her 21st birthday party, pulled her into a bathroom and forcibly kissed her. She did not consent to this. She immediately ran to the bathroom and hotel suite and cried. She told her best friend at the time was too scared to tell anyone else. The second part is luring her into a relationship. He demanded to spend time with him in Miami and New York. He picked her up from her apartment in Manhattan in a blue luxury vehicle. He was already drunk when he picked her up, handed her a pill and told her to take it. He dismissed her when she asked what it was. She later learned the pill was ecstasy. He proceeded to drive recklessly at very high speeds down the West Side Highway in Manhattan. She was too scared to say anything. This guy's just casually putting her life in danger over and over. He paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party hosted by her. This fake posting allowed Miss Ventura to have an excuse to go to Miami and get her away from her boyfriend by using the guise of a legitimate event she had to attend. Bro made her fake an event to get her away from her boyfriend? What?
See, this is the shit I'm talking about, though. This is the part that I want to talk about. These little, it's small little parts in here that let me know that Cassie had a choice at some point. She was complicit a little bit in her own abuse, a little bit, and I don't want to like say that like maliciously, but a little bit, because she said that he forcibly kissed her in the bathroom. She came out crying, but you don't tell nobody. Because who he is, you want to be famous, you want him to help your career, and you had that paramount over the assault that you had just underwent. So not only that, when he did this, you had a boyfriend. You then he then made a fake flyer and put that out there like you had a booking in Miami just so that you could get away from your boyfriend and go to Miami to be with him. You didn't have to do that. You did not have to do that. So you was complicit. You got on that plane, you went, you did all that. The reason why she did it is because she wanted a career in music. And she looked at him as somebody that was going to help her attain her dream. This is how people in places of power use their power to exploit other people. It's like both of them want something. She wants a career, which is an innocent thing, which is a thing that, you know, she should not be vilified for wanting, but she was willing to go to a lot of lengths to attain her dream. And I think that's what the problem was. Like, I understand that you want to be a singer, you want to be famous, and you see this as your big chance. She maybe come from humble beginnings, you know, or whatever. I get it. I get it. That's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? To have somebody like him saying they're gonna help you and have him in your back pocket. But the way he going about it is wrong. That relationship should not have been that. It should have been a relationship of a CEO, president of a company, record company, helping you attain your dream by building you into a great star, not by trying to use that in order to have relations with you and to exploit you. So that's the problem with me. The problem is she allowed this to go on because she wanted her dream. But I could see how people would get caught up in that. I do see that. This happens a lot. And it's easy for it to happen, especially when you have somebody like Puffy who got a lot of influence, got a lot of money, got a lot of power, and can make things happen. And a lot of people would take that deal. Uh, would I take that deal? No, that's just me. I'm just saying if I was a woman. But I'm saying, or somebody like, no, hell no, that's just me though. But I do see a lot of people who would, because a lot of people value materialistic shit. They value their dream. They value the things that they want to attain in life or the lifestyle they want to live over everything. They value that over their safety, their children, their health, uh, their morals, principles, respect. Like it's the world is filled with people who will do anything for money. You know what I'm saying? When I first heard about this situation with Diddy and Cassie, the first thing I thought about was Young Miami when she went when she went on her podcast and said that she let Diddy pee on her. You know, and the shit crazy, and that's why I be saying, like, that's why we got to be careful of the role models or the people that our children look up to, because they'll lead our children astray like a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, y'all. When somebody do that to you, if that's what you into, trust me, they not thinking about they love you when they do it. They thinking about, oh, this is my property, this is my da 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 da. Look how I get to do her. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like a dominance type of thing. It's like a, you know, so for Young Miami to go up there and put that shit out there where young girls could think that shit cool and get in a situation with somebody and allow that shit to happen, because that I ain't gonna lie to y'all, these young people are very much able to be influenced by their people that they look up to in the industry, celebrities, music. We got a lot of young boys out here want to be King Von, spinning, drilling, the ops, that's the whole culture right now that's in the inner city and with the youth, with the young men, that we all know that's going on all over the world, especially all over the country. Now we got the City Girl movement, the Meg Thee Stallion, the Sexy Red, the Lotto. We got that movement going on with the women, the young women as well. You see what I'm saying? And by these young women putting out these images and music and making these other young women, young ladies thinking this shit cool because they see them doing it. They leading them astray, bro. This shit not what it is. And now we get to see the underside of this shit. You see what I'm saying? We get to see the underside of this shit. Now look what's going on with Cassie. Look at the nightmare that she was in. Yeah, all y'all want a rich boyfriend, huh? Well, let me explain something to you what come along with a man with having a lot of money. He's not going to value you, especially if he see or he feel like you there because he got the money. You don't think at some point Diddy realized that the reason why Cassie was allowing him to do all of those things to her is because she wanted something from him? She wanted the career. She wanted the money. She wanted the lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? And she wasn't willing to give that up. So she kept going back. She kept going back. She kept going back. She supposed to say, fuck you, nigga. Put that nigga ass in jail. The first time he even pulled that shit, fuck that career. I'm not finna let you do that to me. That's called self-respect. And I ain't gonna bash her too much because we don't know what type of family dynamic she had. She might have been abused as a kid. She might have had like daddy issues. A lot of us have issues inside that allow us to be abused by other people as we get older, and we don't even understand it. You see what I'm saying? You in a relationship with you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend, and y'all arguing all the time. She cheating on you, you cheating on her. Y'all fighting, y'all going back and forth. Y'all probably should not even be in a relationship together, but y'all still together. A lot of that comes from childhood trauma, abandonment issues, narcissistic personality disorder, uh, um, 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 uh, attachment issues, daddy issues, mommy issues, like, you know what I mean? Like toxic family dynamics, you know what I'm saying? Drug abuse, all of these things, you know what I'm saying, could have an effect on you as an adult in the type of relationship that you garner or have with other people in your life when you're an adult. It all could stem from things that happened to you in your childhood that you didn't get help for or that go undiagnosed. You see what I'm saying? You may not even know that you have these issues. You might not even understand why you continue to do the same behaviors that you used to do. We don't even know. Maybe Diddy got fucking abused or some shit growing up, and it started manifesting into this monster that Cassie alleged to have been in a relationship with, or that we think that we getting a chance to see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, but Cassie, Diddy, I'm pretty sure peeped the leverage that he had over Cassie. He signed her to a 10 album deal. That's crazy. Who the fuck signs to a 10 album deal? Once he signs you to a 10 album deal, he pretty much owns your life. And being that he older, she was younger, he had the money. Of course, he was going to be able to finagle and manipulate the situation to where he had as much leverage as he could over this young lady, and he used it against her. This is why people be talking about. That's why I be listening to people that be talking about. Oh yeah, I want a rich boyfriend. I want a rich husband. Listen, lady, that's cool. That's fine. But it's much better. It's much better to find you somebody that you love and you care about, and that love and care about you, and y'all build together. You feel what I'm saying? That's much better. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all build whatever y'all got going on together, or he build this thing, you build your thing. You need to keep some sort of. You don't need that. Neither a man nor a woman needs to let the other partner have that much more leverage over them. Because regardless of whatever you may believe, if the woman has too much power, as far as like she may be the breadwinner, you may not be making as much money as her, or you may not be making no money at all. You letting the woman take care of you, or however you want to do it. She's gonna assert dominance over you. You know what I'm saying? It's just damn near. I ain't gonna say it's natural, but it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? When y'all get in arguments, it's gonna come out. Same thing with a man. If you're a young lady, if you letting a dude with money take care of you, and you ain't doing nothing really for yourself, and you just pretty much allowing him to take care of you, pay all the bills and all that, he's going to assert dominance over you. He's going to, like, you're going to hear about it in arguments. This my shit. You don't do shit. I take care of you. This is the type of shit. So in order to keep that shit down, y'all need to split them goddamn bills as much as you can. Maybe he pay a little bit more if he make a little bit more money, but y'all need to split them bills. You know, you need to keep some sort of independence. You need to have something going on outside of what he's able to control. And the same thing with the man. You need to have something else going on financially outside of what she's able to control. And y'all just meet there in the middle. You feel what I'm saying? Because if any one of y'all give the other one too much power, It's the dynamic gonna shift, and one of y'all gonna get exploited, used, abused, and all type of shit. She might even feel like she could go cheat on you because she pay all the bills. Y'all live in a nice house, nice mansion, or whatever, and all you know what I mean. You ain't making as much money. So I know damn well from a man perspective, a lot of men feel that way. A lot of men feel that way. If I got this money, I'm making these millions of dollars. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. I'm gonna fuck off on you. A lot of men feel that way. I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna fuck off on you. What you gonna do? You gonna downgrade? You gonna get up out of here, or you gonna go along with this? Cause we living out here, you know, in a nice shit with a lake. You got that G wagon. You know what I'm saying? We got the Bentley truck. We got the Lamb truck. Where you going? You finna leave and do what? Go somebody who got less than me? See how they use this as power? See how they use this as leverage? I'm just trying to tell y'all. Know what I'm saying? Randy says crazy. Just the other day, I was talking to someone and they were telling me how will they try, they'll do anything for money. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Randy say no disrespect to all the ladies, but the first thing a woman asks a man is if you're gonna drop bad. Exactly. Like, nah, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, have your own money. You know what I'm saying? Have your own money and don't let no man control you with their money. I've been told my children, my daughter and my son, don't never let nobody buy you. My daughter's so goddamn independent. Listen, my daughter's so goddamn, she don't give a fuck. She'll tell you to kill. I mean, my daughter have a I don't need you type aura around her. And because she kind of very independent. She always been like that. And I'm talking even since a little girl, she always been like that. She always had this vibe like, I got this. I can do this. And she currently in school for criminal justice now. Handling her own business, you know what I'm saying, doing her thing. But I told her a long time ago, and my son, don't never let nobody buy you. Don't never let nobody buy you. We in the buy you genre in right now. We in the buy you. Girl, he got this kind of money. Yeah, girl, he can pee on me. No, the fuck he can't. Unless that's what you into. But I'm saying, like, that's like degrading. Like, what you think he thinking? Like, that's not love. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they tripping though. But I'm gonna keep playing though.
Crazy. After providing her with drugs in Miami, had intercourse during this trip, okay, with 2 years of meeting her, Miss Ventura found herself into the immediate circle of her boss, the owner of her record label, and one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry. Mr. Combs exerts control over her.
Salute. Y'all can scribe the music 101.
Career and personal life. Part 3, 20-year age difference, as well as their relative positions in the entertainment industry. With Mr. Combs considered a music mogul, he bought her a car, paid for her apartment, provided her with extensive amounts of designer clothing. 2008, 2009, they lived in Manhattan. He showed her the apartment with her parents present. Her parents were skeptical of his displays of wealth at first. He paid for her apartment in Los Angeles, which was 5 minutes away from his house. Purchased a Jaguar for her in 2013.
Y'all hear that? He bought a place where their parents was skeptical about how he was using, how his wealth, because they peeped the play. This man doing all of this for you, he gonna want you to do what he say do. What you gonna say? Look, bro, listen, let me tell you something. That is really very easy, to be honest with you. It's very easy when you got the type of money and influence that Diddy has. It's really very easy to put this type of plan together. Like to put this type of, to my, all you got to do is find you a beautiful young lady who probably from humble beginnings and I ain't gonna even say from humble beginnings because the amount of money he got, I mean, she could be from a decent beginnings and she's still gonna be enticed because the level that he at is way up from the level that she could have lived a middle class life and still being in Diddy's, presence and lifestyle was gonna be enticing to her to go along with a lot of shit. So just peep what he did, right? Listen to what they saying. He groomed her very well, and I'm saying, I get you, take you, wine and dine you. You want to be a singer? I can do that. I'm Diddy. Signed to a 10-album deal. When I signed 10 album deal, you so young, you don't even understand that you done change yourself to me for like an extended period of time unless you can buy yourself out this 10 album deal, which I'm pretty sure the buyout number is crazy because it's 10 albums, right? So you pretty much chained to me, right? He knew what he was doing off top, right? So boom. Now I'm finna cake you. We all know this how I go at first. We don't see in the movies what's love got to do with it and all of that. You know, Tina Turner, Ike Turner. We see how this goes. We don't see this a bunch of times in movies, in documentaries. I show you the lifestyle, put you in a nice condo, put you in a nice mansion, buy you the nice cars, nice furs, nice jewelry, take you around all these celebrities, show you off, get you used to this lifestyle. You feel me? Meeting all these celebrities, all these islands, having all this fun. And then the dark side come out. You know, dude beat you up because you did some small situation or something like I used to do Tina, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, the drugs get bad and now y'all doing all now you realize he's a druggie and an alcoholic and he's abusive. Now, but in the public, he's somebody. In the public, he's a successful businessman, mogul. So now you got all of this comforts, and it's like, am I just gonna say fuck this and leave? Or am I, because you might even started loving them now because y'all don't start having sex. And we all know once you have sex with somebody, it's like the feelings happen. And this is how people trap people. This is how narcissistic people get people. They call it the love bomb phase. I want y'all to understand this. This is what they call it. This is when they treating you nice, they showering you with gifts, they saying all the right things, they have y'all having sex, they loving you. This is how they hook you, right? And then by the time that devaluation, there's another one called the devaluation stage. When the devaluation stage happens, is probably what Cassie was going through when he started beating on her and, you know what I mean, treating her like she wasn't shit. But at the same time, he'll come back and love bomb her once she got the black eyes and the bust lips and all of that type of shit. And she'll accept him back because of she probably halfway in love with him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's got a lot to do with the situation. He got the money. He got the power of her career. And it get to be in that lifestyle. She get to be in the circles. You know, like that's a lot of people would try to figure their way out of it without losing the lifestyle that they have. And this guy was so prolific at using that shit as leverage to where he had it all the way wrapped up. He had it all the way sold up to where she couldn't make too many moves, or else she was gonna lose being able to live and be in that lifestyle. And so you see what I'm saying? She wanted that situation so bad to where she put up with all this shit over the years. You know what I mean? Just to live that lifestyle. Got disrespected, got beat up, you know what I'm saying? Abused, all worded, so they say. Like, that's a lie, bro. Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you. She'll never get over this. Like, I'm just being real. She'll never, like, I'm talking about the abuse part, like the part that she never wanted, the terrible things that happened to her, whatever they were, that she didn't want to happen to her, like the beatings and all of that. She'll never get over that. She'll always remember that. She might be able to live with it and cope with it, but the trauma of that shit gonna be with her forever. To the point to where when her daughter, she may raise her daughter a certain kind of way or shelter her daughter or be extra protective of her daughter because these things have happened to her. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, but we're gonna keep going though.
2014. All aspects of her life were controlled by Mr. Combs or his management companies. Every event Miss Ventura attended, from the travel to the makeup and clothing, was paid for directly by him and his companies. Secured control of her young and impressionable Miss Ventura by introducing her to a drug-fueled lifestyle that kept her complacent and compliant. He had a prescription in Miami, and she was getting pills from that. Exhausted his supply of pills. He demanded her to go get a prescription too. Wow. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is like almost so much things in this, like so many little details, that it would be insane for it not to be true. You know, I'm saying 99.99% chance this is all true. Maybe some of it's, you know, fabricated or over exaggerated, but it seems to all be true. I mean, this guy's a piece of shit for sure. Ownership over her, manipulated her, and ensured obedience early on in their relationship. He wanted her to call him Pop Pop because that's what she called her grandfather. Oh, this guy's a narcissist, dude. Like, he just demands like the highest level.
Didn't I say narcissistic? I told y'all narcissistic personality disorder. I done been doing a little bit of research on. Let me explain something to y'all, man. Like, I know I be talking about this hip hop shit and all this type, you know, shit like that. And that's is what we do. But I'll be interested in a lot of the stuff, bro. I'm telling you, I watch extensive videos on science, quantum physics, narcissistic personality disorder. I'm very big on knowing what the politics. I'm very big in economics. You know what I mean? I'm very big on understanding the world around me. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point that when I don't even watch regular TV. I watch educational shit. You know what I mean? You ever been in school and they'll show you like an educational video on whatever subject, maybe science or history. I like history. I love history. That's like my favorite subject, history. So I watch a lot of history. You know what I'm saying? I every day when I watch shit, whenever I do get a chance to watch shit when I ain't working, a lot of times I watch shit that I can learn shit from. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you about string theory. I can tell you about the multiverse, Michio Kaku, Stephen Hawking, you know, all those guys. Like I study those guys. Nikola Tesla, you know what I'm saying? Thomas Edison, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of shit that I watch. So I lately, for about the past 9-10 months, I've been watching a lot of videos on narcissistic personality disorder. Like I can pretty much sit down and tell you, like you got the love bomb phase, you got the devaluation phase, and you got the discard. You see what I'm saying? You got the smear campaign, you got the flying monkeys. You know what I'm saying? You got the reverse discard. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I educate myself on this. So when I was listening to Diddy and his personality, it stuck out to me, and I was like, damn, he got narcissistic personality disorder. And look, Cuff Boy just said it.
So cringe. Part 4 is when it becomes violent and abusive. Using drugs together in his home, one of his security staff barged in and announced that Suge Knight, a longtime rival, was spotted on Mel's Drive-In Diner in Los Angeles. He began getting dressed and retrieved multiple guns from his safe and ran out of his home. Absolute psycho. He's about to crash out. Multiple times each year, Combs would violently beat her, leaving bruises on her body. After every instance which he beat Miss Ventura, uses money and power to orchestrate extensive efforts to hide it, hotels for days at a time. Yeah, this is just like unreal. What a scumbag. Beat her inside of an Escalade, forced her out of the vehicle in 5th Avenue, New York. He was eventually able to hail a cab and get to her apartment in Manhattan, where she cried, realizing she couldn't tell anyone about it because of how powerful he was. 3 days hiding in her apartment. In January 2009, Mr. Combs learned that she talked to another man, a music manager, at a party. He became enraged. She hoped speaking to this manager would allow her to further her growth in her career, and he would be happy for her. When Ceddy became angry, he pulled her out of the club where the party was taking place. In the car leaving the club, he beat her, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle and stomping on her face. His security staff stole it. Roger Bonds tried to stop the beating, but was unable to de-escalate the situation. Attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. I mean, like, holy, this is just never ending. This guy's a goddamn scumbag. Upon realizing the damage he had done in physical evidence, panicked and forced his staff to bring Ms. Ventura to a hotel suite at the London, Los Angeles, required to stay for a week. He was kidnapping her to hide her injuries over and over for years on end. She's also signed to him. This is insane. This is her label executive. Like, think about how insane this is. All in a hotel, she asked to go home. He wouldn't let her leave. Kidnapping. Proceeded to instruct his assistant to purchase excessive amounts of gifts. Terrified, isolated, unable to see a pathway out of this life, blindly following instructions out of fear. His own admission of the relationship is Bobby and Whitney. A clear acknowledgement of the unequal power dynamic and excessive domestic violence that permitted their relationship. From outside looking in, Ventura had heard others refer to the relationship with Mr. Combs as Ike and Tina. I don't know what that is. Part 5 forces Miss Ventura into sex. So this is the part where it gets weird as right here, boys. Prepare yourselves. Here we go. In New York City, engage in voyeurism. Burned him on if he saw Miss Ventura with another dick. Hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles. Wore masks, ingested drugs, performed acts with this man while he watched and wanked off in the corner. Entire encounter lasted multiple days. What a psycho. He called this arrangement a freak. James in the suit that Combs exerted his power. He was severely drunk at this point. At one point, picked up one of her, reinforcing her inability.
Hey man, that's crazy. Like, hold on, bro. Like, I ain't heard all this shit. So what he said is he would get her to get a male escort, and he would make her do, like, have relations with the dude, and he would like tell her what to do while he'll sit in the corner and play with himself. He said this entire situation happened. These situations will go on for days. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy, yo. Like, so I'm just saying, Diddy, like, that shit crazy, yo. Bro, 50 Cent was right. You weird as hell. So you will have this girl in a hotel room with you and another man for days. Like, and like, I'm talking about, like, the escapade, the rendezvous will go on for days. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Escape an immense power he had over her. A few $1,000s to these guys, dude. She was repulsed by the demands, but between the physical beating and recognizing his incredible power, she became petrified of her partner and boss. He gave her gifts during these situations. So much anxiety before these FOs that she would become physically ill. Around 2015, in the middle of a surprise birthday party for her 29th birthday, Mr. Combs insisted that Miss Ventura leave the party and go to a hotel for an FO. When she expressed she did not want to go, he cornered her by security staff in order to force her to leave with him. On her own birthday, dude. You absolute psycho. He was severely drunk at this point. At one point, picked up one of her friends like a child and dangled the friend over the balcony of the 17th floor. Her friends were scared by Mr. Combs' erratic behavior, but
so this man picked up one of your friends and dangled him over the edge of the building like Big Red on the 5 Heartbeats, and nobody said nothing. Bro, listen, I don't condone violence on this channel, but I'm gonna say this, man. Puffy, if that was my daughter, my sister, anybody, bro, you supposed to die. You know what I'm saying? Like T-Pain said, like, you're gonna die. Like, for real, like, that shit crazy. Like, this nigga out of control, dog.
Ventura was heavily sedated because of the drugs she took to participate, so she was too high on. He was drunk and he dangled a friend of hers off the balcony. I mean, like, this is literally happens in a movie. Mr. Combs insists on these intricately staged and forced sexual encounters and tries to escape the abuse. In 2011, during a rough patch, Miss Ventura had a brief relationship with the musician Kid Cudi. They were on a break at some point. She started dating Kid Cudi. During this FO, Mr. Combs found Miss Ventura's phone and emails between her and Kid Cudi. Mr. Combs became enraged and proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunged at her. She ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape from him. He returned to him. He hit her several times and kicked her in the back as she tried to run out the door. He went to her parents' home in Connecticut. Oh, it was Kid Cudi's car that he wanted to blow up in 2012 at Paris Fashion Week, and wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Wait, it actually happened? Wait, hold on. Someone actually blew up Kid Cudi's car. I didn't even know that was a thing. Does the public know that Kid Cudi's car blew up in 2012? What? It's not a public thing. When Mr. Combs' head of security and assistants saw her after an assault, they both cried, had 2 black eyes, a burst and bruised lip, and a huge welt on her forehead. She put on makeup per demands from him. At the Intercontinental Hotel in LA in March 2016, he was drunk, punched her, giving her a black eye. After he fell asleep, she tried to leave the room. He woke up, screamed at her, followed her in the hallway, grabbed her, took a glass vase in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as they ran to an elevator. She got to the elevator, and when she got to the lobby, she took a cab to her apartment. He returned to the hotel. Wow. He returned to the hotel with the intention of apologizing. The hotel security staff urged her to get back into the cab and go to her apartment, suggesting that.
I'm saying, what a video of this shit at? Listen, a lot of these incidents happen in public or in hotels or in apartment condos. All these places have cameras. All of these places have cameras. Like it has to be some video, photo, or video evidence of these situations. Like I want to see it.
He had seen security footage showing Mr. Combs beating Miss Ventura and throwing glass at her. He paid this hotel in Century City 50 grand for the hallway security footage from that evening. I guess he got deleted or he took it. That's insane. That hotel should be ashamed of themselves. In September 2018, she joined him for dinner in Malibu, which she thought would be a discussion to end their relationship. They returned to her home. He forced himself on her and tried to kiss her. She told him to stop and attempted to push him away. Pulled off her clothes and unbuckled his belt. He R-worded her, and she said no and pushed him away. Following her escape from the cycle of she endured, she struggled with physical and mental manifestations of her trauma. The birth of her 2 children, however, allowed her a new lease on life and gave her purpose. She was addicted to drugs and alcohol while pregnant, addictions that were established and fueled by Mr. Combs. She suffered from horrific nightmares of the forced acts. She went to rehab at one point. She will forever live with the physical and psychological repercussions over the decade of violence, fear, and exploitation she endured. She was unable to speak up against the years of she endured at the hands of Mr. Combs, and she has since been able to rebuild her life and confront her trauma. Prayer for relief. Plaintiff prays judgment to be entered in her favor against defendants. For a money judgment representing compensatory damages, including consequential damages, lost wages, earning, and all other sums of money together, with interest on these amounts according to proof. For a money judgment for mental pain and anguish and severe emotional distress, for attorney's fees and damages and everything else. So yeah, I mean, this guy's a real piece of shit right here, boys. Apparently Kid Cudi also said that this is true, and Kid Cudi has known this for years apparently. So yeah, the guy can be a legend in rap or whatever, that genre of music, but he's a piece of shit. And that's just how life is. Some famous people just lose their goddamn minds with drugs and money, dude. His annual earnings are $90 million. So, I mean, she's probably going to win this if she has some significant proof and pictures and like that. I would imagine she needs a lot of pictures and, proof of the dates. If you're new to my channel, subscribe on my Twitter and Instagram. Love you, boys. Thanks for the support.
That's crazy, but now we get to see, man. Now we get to see. That's what I be saying, bruh, you blessed. Those of you who hearing me talk right now, I want y'all to understand y'all blessed, right? You got a roof over your head, you got a job, you got your children, you got your significant other, if you got people around you that you genuinely care about, they genuinely care about you, and you making it. You know what I mean? You winning. A lot of times we see these celebrities, these celebrity lifestyles, and we admire them, or we say this is what we want, but we have no idea what these people got going on behind closed doors. Time and time again, when these people lies in or the documentaries or the life stories come out, we see this bullshit that they be done went through. You see what I'm saying? Or that be happening with these people. And I just want to say that we should stop glorifying these people and looking up to these people. These people, we don't even fucking know these people. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we idolize people that we know? You know what I mean? People that are in our lives that are good, positive people. Your daddy, your mama, if not them, your granddaddy. You know what I mean? Your grandmama. You know what I mean? Positive role models. You know what I'm saying? People that we see that we can really touch and we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, it's just like it's like a falsity. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. And the love of money is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? The love of money. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't never do anything for money. It's some shit that I won't do for money. In your life, it got to be some shit that you won't do for money. Everybody got their limits or whatever. But it's some shit I won't do for money. I'm talking about it's some shit that I could be dead ass broke and I won't do it for money. You feel me? I'll find another way to get money before I do that. You got to have morals, principles, boundaries, values. If you don't have morals, principles, boundaries, or values, you will be exploited in this world that we living in now. Trust me when I'm telling you. And that go for a man or a woman. You got to have morals, boundaries, principles, character. It got to be some shit that you won't do. Life is about as much about as what you don't do as it is about what you do. You feel what I'm saying? Some shit you should not be doing, or it's gonna lead you down a certain path. Some shit you should be doing, because that's gonna lead you down a certain path. You get what I'm saying? If you want to achieve some type of success, you need to do certain shit in order to be successful. But if you don't want to end up in a place you don't want to end up at, then it's some shit that you should not be doing. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, so get rich or die trying. No, hell no. Hell no. That's a falsity. You know what I'm saying? It's some shit that I won't do to be rich. You feel what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what you say. It's some shit that I will not do to be rich. Fuck that. I'll be broke. I'll be poor, but I have my self-respect, my dignity, you get what I'm saying? And that's what's important. That's what's important. People be so caught up in this glitz and this glamour shit. How many times have we heard people with money say money don't bring you happiness? It just looked like that because we don't got the money that they got. But once you get the money, then you will understand what they're saying. Goddamn Robin Williams, one of the funniest men in the world, committed suicide. A lot of people that you look at and they look like they happy, they be battling depression. You'll be like, what the fuck is they got not to be happy about? They rich. They got nice houses. They got nice cars. They celebrities. But we see these people time and time again committing suicide, drug addiction, you know, all type of shit they have going on. Sometimes you got to think about what you got and be blessed with that. Because you might not want what they got. Because what they got come with a whole nother set of problems. What Biggie said, more money, more problems. You know what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope. You know, we all chasing money or to be financially stable. I'm going to say it like that. For our families and the generation that come behind us, I get it. But don't sell your soul, man. Don't sell your soul. Cassie, in a roundabout way, sold her soul. Or it was taken from her, or however you want to say it, but it was a price on it, regardless of what. Because no way she would have put up with that shit for that long if it wasn't for the monetary gain, success, her career, what she felt like she may lose. Fuck all that. I lose all that shit before I put up with that type of shit. You feel me? Or maybe she wasn't willing to give all that. You see what I'm saying? It's a choice. You know what I mean? And I understand at some point she might have developed what they call it Stockholm syndrome. I get it. That happens too. That's a thing. It's a real thing. But at the beginning, it was a choice. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that money. That nigga did what? Man, fuck him. I don't give a fuck about that record deal. That nigga blacked your eye. That nigga R-worded you. That nigga did this and did that. Like, fuck all that shit. You had a chance to get paid from him after the first ass whooping. You see what I'm saying? You could have sued him then. You feel me? You could have sued him, got the money from that, and funded your own career after that. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. It was a choice. It was a choice at some point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this too. I ain't bashing her to that extent because I get it. I done been in situations where I done been in relationships where I knew the shit wasn't gonna work. But I stuck around for whatever reason a little bit longer than I should have. I think a lot of us done been in that situation. Whether you stuck around for the kids, or you stuck around because y'all financially tied into each other, or you might don't got enough money you feel like in order to move, or you don't want to start all the way over. You get what I'm saying? I get it. So I do get how people can get trapped in these situations. But let me tell you something. All of those times, anytime I ever been in that situation, you know eventually what I eventually ended up having to do anyway? cut ties and move on. You feel me? And no matter what it was, I always end up having to do the same thing. So my advice would be to cut ties as soon as possible. Don't wait, because you only wasting time. You only allowing more and more bad things to happen to you in that situation. It's never gonna be the right time. The right time is now. Put it that goddamn way. Just get out that shit, because you could cost you your life, cost you your freedom, your health, whatever, your sanity, you know what I mean, or whatever, or some other people they lie. But this nigga's out of control, man. Like, this nigga out of control like a motherfucker. And I don't think this is the end of this story, y'all. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna move on. You know, I'm glad Cassie got her money. I'm glad that some light has been shed on this situation. I think she could have did much more for people, women, or people who in this situation, by her, you know, pursuing this a little bit longer before she settled, or at least going at criminal charges or whatever. But you know, that's her. She had the choice to where she wanted to go with this, and you know, that's her. It happened to her. So I'm not gonna bash her for that. But I'm gonna say this: I don't feel like this the end of this story. And what I mean, it might be the end of the story with her, but I do feel like it's other women that Diddy has done this to, and probably currently still doing this too. We see how fast he settled with her, so we know, we can assume that where there's smoke, there's fire, and that she was telling a lot of the truth in this situation. So I don't see him just doing this with Cassie and ain't did this to other women, or is doing this to other women. So let's just put the to be continued on this one here, the little dot 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 dot, because I don't think this situation over with. But good one for you, Cassie. Good one for you. That's sad though. Let's see. Another one say he got mad lawsuits. I believe that's what's finna happen. Let's see what else. We gonna dip over to the YNW Melly real quick.
Judge Murphy in the YNW Melly trial granted the state's motion to extend the trial back to February 5th. Last week, Murphy also granted the defense's motions to have the jury struck. Now they're completely restarting with selecting the jurors who will participate in the trial. The defense team filed a motion to suppress all evidence from a search warrant on Melly's phone in 2019. Yeah, I've been gone for a week, so I'm finally back making videos, boys. This trial is not starting until February now. Such a bummer. I wanted to get this over with in January and February, but now it's looking like February and March. But yeah, I'll keep covering this. My channel, subscribe, comment, share, Instagram. Let's get it, boys. All right, so we got
Well, you see how sick them lawyers be? Now the motherfuckers had 90 days in order to retry Melly after the first mistrial. Now this trial done got pushed back till February. You see that? You see how that? Because technically when they start the jury selection process, that's the trial period. So as long as they started the jury selection process, they can say that the trial started within the 90-day window. You see what I'm saying? You see how they slick do shit? You get what I'm saying? That's crazy.
striking jury panels due to defense misstatement of the law. So they're saying the defense said something they weren't supposed to say in front of the jury. Jury selection started on October 18th. State previously requested the court commence jury selection and bring back on January 8th. Okay. After approximately 2 weeks of time qualifying jurors, attorney questioning began on November 6th, so 10 days ago. State spoke to the first group of prospective jurors in part on Monday, November 6th, and finished this portion of voir dire on Tuesday, November 7th. I saw Lil Uzi live about 2 hours ago, and it was incredible. Bro had one of the most interesting set designs I've seen in recent.
Lil Uzi.
For the Uzi show, use my link down below. It's the safest link possible. He was up there for like an hour and a half tonight, so it was fucking sick. Use my link below. Buy tickets right now. Defense counsel began on November 7th. Okay. During defense counsel's voir dire, counsel improperly informed the jurors that the state must prove all the elements of the crime, including defendant's gang associating beyond a reasonable doubt in order for the defendant to be found guilty. Okay. The state objected to misstatement of the law, a valid legal objection, and the court requested a sidebar. During that initial sidebar, counsel was told to rephrase the question. Defense counsel subsequently read the indictment to the jurors, which includes the gang enhancement language, and again indicated to the prospective jurors that the state has the burden to prove all of the elements, including gang enhancement, beyond a reasonable doubt in order to be found guilty. So one of Melly's lawyers basically said to the jury they have to prove his gang association when they should have worded it saying his gang enhancement language. That's the only difference. So clearly Melly's lawyer fucked up, but it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. And Melly's team is the reason why this all happened too. Like, they wanted to strike the jury and get rid of them and start over. Melly's team did, not the state. The state once again objected to the misstatement of the law. In addition, a juror asked for counsel to clarify, asking, are you telling me that if we find the defendant killed the victims, but not that it was a part of the gang, that he's not guilty? Oh, okay. So yeah, I could see how that could be tricky. So apparently they weren't supposed to say any of this, actually. This could confuse a juror saying, well, I don't think he was in a gang, but I do think he killed them. That could be tricky for a juror in this situation because death penalty is on the table, which means they have to prove that it was in furtherance of a gang. Another sidebar was held where the state requested the court read the jury instruction to the jurors, which would clear up any confusion. Defense counsel objected to the court reading the instruction and vehemently argued to the court that because the state placed the language in the indictment, it becomes an element. Kind of a good point. The prospective jurors were removed from the courtroom for further argument to take place. In the defense counsel's argument to the court, it became apparent the defense was under the misplaced impression that the gang language cited to the indictment was regarding the gang aggravator under FS. Okay, I don't know what that means. Counsel for the state pointed out the state does not put aggravator language in indictments for penalty phases of the trial. However, we do in fact place enhancement language in indictments. Okay. Counsel for the state also made it abundantly clear that enhancement language goes towards interrogatories of a verdict form and that the defendant can be found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder whether or not the jury finds the gang enhancement. Okay. The state once again simply asked for the jury instruction to be read to the court, something that is routinely done in jury trials throughout the courthouse in the state of Florida when a valid legal objection is made. The court agreed with the state and ruled the instruction would be read. Due to the court's ruling, defense counsel moved to strike the entire panel, as he would lost all credibility with the jurors should the court read that instruction. Basically, Melly's team was starting to be careful about what was read to the jury because they didn't want to taint their mind in any way and make them.
Okay, so what allegedly happened is that the defense, when they was instructing the jury of how would they be able to get the verdicts, they told the jury that if you can't find that Melly was in a gang, then you can't convict him of murder. That was false. You can still convict Melly of murder and not feel like that the state proved that he was actually in a gang. And when Melly's attorneys told the jury that, they gave them false instructions, and the state only wanted to just rephrase the statement and re-inform the jury of the correct interpretation of the law, and or either possibly just strike those couple of jurors. The state Melly's attorneys objected, and they wanted to strike. And they moved to strike the whole jury, everybody that was selected, because they felt like they would lose credibility in the eyes of the jurors if the judge had to correct them in front of the jury. If the judge would have told the jury, hey, well, this is the real interpretation of the law, they felt like the jurors at that point going forward in the trial would feel like that Melly's attorneys were incompetent, didn't know the law, and would be telling them things that weren't true. So I get where both of them coming from, but it was a mistake on Melly's attorneys to say that in front of the jury, or maybe they said that in front of the jury in order to get the jury to come back with a favorable verdict. Because if I'm on the jury and I feel like if they don't prove that he's in a gang, and you told me that if I don't feel that way, then I can't convict him of murder, I may say not guilty. You see what I'm saying? So it might have been a tactic that Melly's defense team was using in order to get the jurors to vote not guilty if they felt like the state didn't prove that Melly was in a gang. The gang affiliation is not needed in order to order to convict Melly of murder. The gang shit is needed in order to becoming in order to convict Melly and give him the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? They need the aggravating factor. They need the gang affiliation in order to convict Melly on and give him the death penalty, but not to convict him of murder. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what the discrepancy was. That was slick. That was a slick move, but it pushed everything back.
Second guess there if they were to do a not guilty ruling, basically. The court allowed counsel to confer with the defendant, and despite the state's objection that this is not grounds for striking an entire panel, the court granted the defense motion to strike the panel. Wow. So the state did not want to do this because it was clearly like a good thing for the state to be able to read that to them and, clarify, if you don't even think he's in a gang, you can still put guilty. The state fears that every time the state objects, instead objection is sustained, the defense will move to start over because it affects their credibility with the jurors. For centuries, the rules of evidence have existed, and lawyers on both sides have objected in front of jurors where they were either sustained or overruled. It's also quite common for lawyers to misstate the law during voir dire, at which time courts have consistently jumped in and read the jury instructions. The state is saying that Melly's team kind of over-exaggerated everything and got rid of the jury when they really didn't need to, but I understand why they did it. Is it a little excessive? Maybe, yeah. Furthermore, a total of 3 jurors have now come forward regarding improper conduct by both known and unknown individuals. What? Improper conduct. The state has expressed serious concerns for the integrity of the jury selection process, this case, and the judicial system as a whole. The state did not move to strike the panel despite the grave concerns it has for jury tampering. The state merely asked for the jurors to be questioned in accordance with the law. Yet, after a valid legal objection was sustained, the panel was struck at the request of the defense. While the state understands the court acting in an abundance of caution, objections being sustained and jury instructions being read by the court to rectify the misstatement of law should not rise the level of starting over. All this time being spent on jurors that have now been struck could have gone to both sides clearly need to further prepare for trial. The state does not want this to become a pattern where with each objection made, another group of jurors is struck. Wow. The state's a little scared that they're going to keep doing this over and over. I doubt that because I feel like Melly's team wants to get this over with. They were just being really cautious in this situation. I'd be really shocked if they did this twice. On November 7th, 11 days ago, the state gave a USB of cell phone carrier records to the defense. So we got a document from the defense right here. Amended suppression motion number 11. Amended motion to suppress evidence obtained through search warrant for Apple iPhone X. Any and all evidence seized and provided to law enforcement pursuant to the warrant authorizing the examination of Apple iPhone X with serial number blah, blah, blah. So it talks about Cortland dropping the bodies off and everything as part of the investigation. Affidavit for search warrant was prepared on March 7th, 2019. Okay. There was no probable cause to believe the existence of the grounds on which the warrant was issued. The warrant is insufficient on its face. No probable cause to believe the existence of the grounds of which the warrant was issued. There's no indication in the affidavit as to how long he has been a law enforcement officer. Talking about Detective Mark Moretti. I'm not sure whose phone this is. I don't know if this is Melly's phone or one of the phones that they found in the back seat, like on the floor maybe. I'm not sure. They're talking about Melly's phone, right? The affidavit fails to state whether Moretti has any familiarity whatsoever in homicide investigations. Affidavit fails to indicate what training, experience, or education he has had, and not only in homicide investigations, but also in cell phones or computers. Quote, data shows that the computer hard drive software and electronic files may be vital to criminal investigations in 2 distinct ways. What data? From whom? As part of the training? Question mark. Phishing data? Question mark. Upon experience? Question mark. The technical requirements. Quote, although the affidavit goes through the lengths for the technical requirements needed to extract the information contained in the device, there's nothing in the affidavit to support how Moretti has the knowledge to put the paragraph in the affidavit. So they're saying this warrant shouldn't have happened, and there was no legal basis for it to happen, for whatever phone this is. I think it's Melly's phone. The ability to undelete files. There's nothing in the affidavit to explain how Moretti, who signed the affidavit, has knowledge of what is contained in this paragraph of the affidavit. The affidavit contains information that was provided through the search warrant for cell site cell phones for Mr. Demons. It also contains information as to cell phone mapping, which was derived from the cell phone cell site information. The affidavit also contains CDR information that was gleaned from T-Mobile cell phone records of Mr. Demons. The cell phone itself was seized unlawfully by the law enforcement, as it was not the item referenced to be seized under Judge Colra's February 28, 2019 warrant. As fruits of the poisonous tree from the illegal search and seizure, Judge Murphy in the Windaby Melly trial
This is a momentous day in Ware County.
There was no probable cause to believe the existence of the grounds.
So what they saying is the phone that they obtained was not even the phone that the warrant was supposed to be served on, and they saying that the seizure of the phone was illegal. I said that. I said that if that officer was not in the presence of them in that room when they served that warrant, which was a warrant for the wrong device, is what the cup boy is saying. I felt like that phone that they seized was seized illegally, therefore should not be admissible. On top of that, he should be charged. That's theft. That's strong arm robbery because he physically took her phone from her. That is a crime. Strong arm robbery is punishable by life. I think it's a PBL, strong arm robbery. I think it is. If not, it's 10, 20 years. So that is a crime like that he committed if he didn't do it legally. Who gives a fuck if you're police? If police go to jail for shit all the time. That is a crime. And I don't understand how come he isn't charged with that.
Which the warrant was issued. The warrant is insufficient on its face. No probable cause to believe the existence of the grounds of which the warrant was issued. There's no indication in the affidavit as to how long he has been a law enforcement officer. Talking about Detective Mark Moretti. I'm not sure whose phone this is. I don't know if this is Melly's phone or one of the phones that they found in the back seat, like on the floor maybe. I'm not sure. They're talking about Melly's phone, right? The affidavit fails to state whether Moretti has any familiarity whatsoever in homicide investigations. Affidavit fails to indicate what training, experience, or education he has had, and not only in homicide investigations, but also in cell phones or computers. Quote, data shows that the computer hard drive software and electronic files may be vital to criminal investigations in two distinct ways. What data? From whom? As part of the training? Question mark. Phishing data? Question mark. Upon experience? Question mark. The technical requirements. Quote. Although the affidavit goes through the lengths for the technical requirements needed to extract the information contained in the device, there's nothing in the affidavit to support how Moretti has the knowledge to put the paragraph in the affidavit. So they're saying this warrant shouldn't have happened, and there was no legal basis for it to happen for whatever phone this is. I think it's Melly's phone. The ability to undelete files. There's nothing in the affidavit to explain how Moretti, who signed the affidavit, has knowledge of what is contained in this paragraph of the affidavit. The affidavit contains information that was provided through the search warrant for cell site cell phones for Mr. Demons. It also contains information as to cell phone mapping, which was derived from the cell phone cell site information. The affidavit also contains CDR information that was gleaned from T-Mobile cell phone records of Mr. Demons. The cell phone itself was seized unlawfully by the law enforcement, as it was not the item referenced to be seized under Judge Colra's February 28th, 2019 warrant as fruits of the poisonous tree from the illegal search and seizure of Mr. Demons. These references in the affidavit must be excised, and if the probable cause still exists, needs to be determined by this in court. Okay, so here's a good list right here. In order to establish the probable cause, the affidavit relies upon evidence and fruits of the poisonous tree from the search warrant obtained on the cell phone cell sites used by Demons, cell phone mapping, cell site data, T-Mobile cell phone records of Demons, the search warrant of the Snapchat account of Demons. Without these items seized in previous searches, under previous warrants, there would not be probable cause for the issuance of this warrant. Although the description of the items to be searched is an Apple iPhone X, it was actually the tip of the iceberg of what the search warrant allows. Without delineating item by item what was contained in the affidavit and the warrant attached here too, the warrant allows the seizure of computer equipment and storage devices or magnetic, like electronic or optical storage devices, encryption devices, keys necessary to gain access to the computer equipment. Okay. The warrant is a general warrant, overbroad, and therefore in the violation of Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It acknowledges that the entire contents of the phone and other items seized under the warrant will be taken to the law enforcement laboratory for review. After reviewing all the data, they will extract and seize what they determine falls within the list of items seized. So what it sounds like is the state found out more shit than they should have found out in a search warrant, and they're saying they shouldn't have got the search warrant in the first place, and it was too broad, and they don't want it in the fucking trial. Will it happen? No. Fuck no. The judge is going to let in the trial. Not going to happen. The warrant does not define who the computer personnel are, other than we know that they are law enforcement, as the seized items are to be taken to the law enforcement laboratory. Reasons for suppression. The affidavit in this case is legally insufficient. Therefore, there was no probable cause for the existence of the grounds on which the search warrant was issued. Violates the defendant's 4th and 14th Amendment rights to be free from unlawful search and seizures. Melly's mom posted, "I'm sorry, kid," heartbreak emoji, crying because of his trial being pushed back an extra month. Y'all act like he doing easy time. He doesn't have phone calls or visits like most people in jail, not to mention 23-1 lockdown. So yes, I feel sorry for my kid and whoever else family is hurting this holiday season. Yeah, some people will feel bad for her and some people won't. I have to admit I do a little bit just because, you know, I've met her and talked to her a little bit, but it's a tragic situation. I also feel bad for the families of the deceased victims as well. So just how it is naturally.
Yeah, so We're gonna get pushed back, y'all. We getting pushed back, which means Bartlett trial definitely got pushed back. Which also mean I'm hearing that they got a civil suit. The families of the victims have a civil suit that is supposed to be starting up sometime soon, early next month. If I had to guess, that's gonna get pushed back as well. Um, you can't have him go through his civil lawsuit before his his criminal trial. You get what I'm saying? Not because even though let's say he get found not guilty in his criminal trial, he still can get found guilty in a civil suit. That happened to O.J. Simpson. He was found not guilty of killing Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, but was found guilty in a civil suit. So you can be found not guilty in the criminal and be found guilty in the civil. But my thing is, if you go into a civil, you're gonna have to get on the stand. Like in a civil suit, you're gonna have to get on the stand. Like it's a lot of things that's allowed in a civil suit that's not allowed in a criminal case, and you can't have him get on the stand and talk about any of these situations, being that his criminal case is not over yet. You can't like that's like getting him to get up there and talk and say shit that could hurt him in his criminal case. So if I had to guess, that civil case gonna get pushed back until after this criminal case is over with. Um, as far as the cell phone, I feel like that cell phone, the one they seized from the mama, should be thrown out. Whatever evidence they found in there should be thrown out because it wasn't a legal search and seizure, being that it wasn't a BSO officer present when Moretti served the search warrant. Now we have Melly's defense team attacking the actual validity of the search warrant, saying that the search warrant wasn't even a search warrant that should have been granted. So we got that situation going on. Also, Detective Moretti, who's the lead detective, the homicide detective in the case, the one that all this controversy surrounds, the judge has voted that or deemed that the defense team, Melly's defense team, can depose Detective Moretti again, which means that they're going to be able to ask Moretti about the situation where he served the warrant to Melly's mom to get Melly's mom's phone, him asking the BSO officer to lie and say that he was present. And they're basically going to depose him so that they can ask him questions about pertaining to his credibility. And they're going to try to impeach his credibility uh, in this new trial when he comes on the stand because he will be testifying. This is why Christine Bradley, the lead DA, was released off of being the head DA in this case because she's going to be called as a witness as well in the situation that happened with the cell phone being illegally illegally seized by Moretti. So I'm telling y'all, if I had to guess, this new trial is going to be, the defense is going to be that the state attorney and the police department framed Melly. They did some illegal stuff. They've been doing a lot of shady shit. And I believe that is what the defense is going to be. It's yet to be seen, but we shall see. Let's move on. Bradley say, "Oh, that should be thrown away." I agree. Let's move on. So last night on Triple Threat Friday, we had Ceddy Nash pull up on us. Y'all know Ceddy Nash. He's a very popular YouTuber. Pretty much everybody subscribed to Ceddy Nash. I'm subscribed to Ceddy Nash. And a couple months ago, it was a young lady, very beautiful lady out of Sacramento, California, I think, came out, and she alleged that Ceddy Nash narrated. Those are her words. She alleged that Ceddy Nash snitched, for those who don't understand what narrated, me on a situation where his brother was arrested, and she was alleging that this is it's a rift in Ceddy Nash's family because Ceddy Nash allegedly snitched on his brother and them, say he got into it with his brother, and his brother and them shot at him, and Ceddy Nash told the police that his brother shot at him, and his brother and his friends went to jail for it. This is what the lady was alleging, but she never produced any paperwork, so we did not take her 100% fact, But being that she came out and she spoke about it, it made a situation to where it was people, bloggers, me, and a couple more people that was running with the narrative that maybe said he did snitch. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Mickey Truth. Mickey Truth came out. She got the paperwork. She worked with Ceddy Nash, and she cleared it up. Ceddy Nash did not snitch. His name is actually not in the paperwork at all. And it was one of our topics last night on Triple Threat Friday. Go subscribe to Music 101 channel. Go subscribe to Mickey Truth channel, and also subscribe to my channel, Marita Boy, and pull up on us for Triple Threat Friday. Y'all will enjoy it. I'm telling you. And Ceddy, Ceddy was one of the topics. So Ceddy pulled up. Ceddy pulled up. He got on Triple Threat, and he addressed a lot of the rumors, the things. And if I I asked Ceddy quite a few questions last night, and Mickey did, and Muse did as well. And I'm glad that he came up. I'm glad that he came on Triple Threat Friday. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just give my opinion on what I was witnessing and listening to when I was listening to Ceddy. I felt like when he said he was talking, I felt like Ceddy was getting his aha moment. Like, aha, I told y'all, do I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I done been somebody that's done been accused of some shit, and not that type of shit. But I'm just saying, like, I remember one time my girlfriend accused me of cheating and all type of shit like that. I ain't did a motherfucking thing. And when it came out that it never happened, then I definitely am an aha type person. So I get it. I understand it. But also what I was getting from when I was listening to Ceddy, I felt like Ceddy was upset that people tried to paint him as a snitch, and that people believed it, or either people ran with the narrative. I kept getting that vibe from Ceddy from when I was listening to him speak. He just couldn't he just was appalled that people would do this to him, would assume, would say these things about him, you know what I'm saying, and paint him in this light. And that part puzzled me. That part puzzled me because Ceddy a big blogger, he a YouTuber. This is what he does. This is what I do. This is what we do. What we do is we watch these other people's lives, and we give an opinion on what's going on in these other people's lives. Let's just be honest with it. That's what we do here. And a lot of times we say certain things and have opinions on certain situations in these other people's lives, and the situation and the opinions are not true. I just keep it real, and that's why I say us bloggers, us, the opinions, because we giving our opinions. Sometimes we give facts. When shout out to Mickey Truth when we get the actual facts of the situation, the paperwork of the situation. We give out facts such as how Ceddy got cleared. Ceddy got cleared because the facts came out. So facts are wrapped up in this too. But I'm saying we give our opinions too, right? And sometimes our opinions be wrong, especially when we don't have the facts and it's a situation, a topic, something happened. We get on here and we make videos and we give our opinion. A lot of times we be right, sometimes we be wrong. But that's what happens. And what I'm saying is, Ceddy does this too. He does this too. This is how he got 100 and some thousand subscribers. So I didn't understand how he did not understand that this is all par for the course. When we on the internet, people are gonna talk about you. People are gonna troll you. People are gonna make up lies on you. People are gonna hate on you. This is going to happen, especially when you are a public figure, when you are in the public eyesight. You know what I'm saying? I have yet to see a celebrity that don't got death threats, that don't got trolls, that don't got people making up shit about them. You know, this is par for the course. And when I was listening to Ceddy, I thought that he would have understood this. I thought that he would have understood that, bro, you somebody. Like you popular. Because even music, as the music say, do you know how big you are? And he said, now I do. He said he didn't know at first. He said he didn't know at first. So I understand that. I get what I get it. Because that was a perfect answer for what music asked him. But I thought he would have already understood that. Like, I got people that make videos about me, you know what I'm saying, all the time. I'm talking about, I've been had people making videos about me. Negative videos. You see what I'm saying? And at first it kind of bothered me a little bit, but I had a couple of people holler at me, YouTubers, and they let me know, like, this is what's gonna happen. Like, everybody on here who got a little motion have people making these type of videos about them. You know what I mean? Sneak this and the this is the hate that's gonna come. So once I realized that on the internet you have to have thick skin. You have to have thick skin on the internet because the internet is going to come for you. Trolls are going to come for you. You have to have thick skin. You have to know who you are. You have to accept that people are going to talk shit about you. Everybody's not going to like you. And people going to spin narratives, and you don't have to run around trying to convince everybody that their narrative is wrong. You just leave it, you just ignore it. You know what I mean? You let it go. Like, do you know how many people probably could come on my channel and say that, oh, your video about me was wrong, or you had this wrong, or you offended me, or this and that, and Ceddy as well. Any of us that blog, we do this. So that's the part that kind of threw me a little bit. But when he said that he understood now, then I was like, oh, okay. So that's why he kind of like feel this way. Because to me, it felt like he was saying, how could y'all do this to me? Like, y'all should know. He was acting like y'all should know who I am, and y'all should not even entertain what this young lady said because y'all should know me. That ain't how it work. That ain't how it work. Tomorrow, somebody can make a video about me tomorrow saying that Marita Boy shot 3 people last weekend. It's gonna be some people that believe that. It's gonna be some people that make videos and put that narrative out. I can't get upset with those people for doing that, being that's I don't do that shit like that. I try to did some fact checking and something like that. But I'm saying I'm a blogger too. So I ain't gonna get overly emotional for somebody spinning a narrative on me. You get what I'm saying? Not like that. Especially when I know it's not true. You feel what I'm saying? And especially after I done been exonerated. I was listening to Ceddy, and it seemed like Ceddy was still fucking mad. Even after Mickey had like went over the paperwork and said that you good, Ceddy. Because I even asked him, I said, Ceddy, I think you should be happy now. You good? You came out on the clean side of it. But he was still upset a little bit inside because I think that shit really bothered him that they had him fucked up. And the internet did have him fucked up. But I wanted to come on here and talk about it because when I was listening to him talk, I noticed that. And by him being a blogger, I just thought that he would have already accepted this type of treatment, being that he done had extensive activity with this type of treatment. Like, this is You get what I'm saying? Like this is what bloggers do to other people sometimes. So I just felt like he should have already been able to deal with this a little bit, more understanding than him. Like, how could y'all think that I would? Because it's the internet, said it is news. Use somebody. So any news surrounds you or comes your way, whether it's real or fake, some people gonna run with it until they get to the facts, and that's what happened with this situation. But shout out to Ceddy Nash, man. I really like the fact that he came through Triple Threat Friday. He was very candid. He didn't shy away from very many questions. A couple of them he did, but I understand that too. Um, he stayed on there for about 2.5, 3 hours, y'all. He was on that bitch a long time, bro. And he talked about a lot of things that I didn't know that he was gonna be comfortable talking about. He definitely dropped quite a few bombs in that Triple Threat Friday interview, if you would call it that, because it was just we was doing Triple Threat Friday. He pulled up. So one thing about my crew, my peoples, us, me, Mickey, and Music on Triple Threat Friday, if we get somebody of notoriety that pull up just out the blue pop up, we're gonna immediately turn into interrogation mode. You get what I'm saying? Like, because we got you up here now. You know what I'm saying? We didn't might have not have planned for you to be there, but if you come up there and you somebody of note, somebody who we feel like we got questions that we want to ask you, we're gonna take that opportunity. And that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? And we just kind of like took our turns throughout the course of the evening, asking Ceddy questions that we wanted to answer to. We felt like you guys wanted to answer to. So it was lit, man. Ceddy, he did a great interview. I was kind of feeding into uh whatever Ceddy had going on, just because I've noticed that he was being very, very candid. And I like when I have somebody in front of me who being candid, because I'm a candid type person too. And what I would do is, y'all know how I do. I'm gonna ask you the questions that the people want the answers to. It's no way that I'm gonna have you sitting in the seat and you right in front of me and I could ask you these questions. Either I'm gonna ask you these questions and you're gonna deny them, or I'm gonna ask you these questions and you're gonna answer them. But regardless of what, I'm going to answer these questions. I mean, ask you these questions. That's what I do. That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? But he was a great guest to have on Triple Threat Friday. He came up. He stayed a long time. He tried to talk to Ashley. He tried to talk to Ashley. Shout out to my girl Ashley. Hey y'all, hey, he like Ashley. He told Ashley, he said, he's like, hey Marita, boy, that's my girl Ashley in the chat. I said, yeah, boy, I'm a homegirl Ashley right now. You know what I'm saying? But it was all in good fun. It wasn't nothing serious. It was all in good fun. Shout out to Nay said, appreciate you, Nay. Shout out to Camille Kimball. Shout out to Kel1K. Appreciate you. Shout out to Boredom and Clicks. Appreciate you. But yeah, Triple Threat Friday, man. That shit lit, man. And we going up, man. Shout out to Music 101. Shout out to making sure you go subscribe to both of their channels. You know what I mean? What else we gonna talk about? Let's push on through. We're gonna get on motherfucking old Men in Black, soft ass Will Smith, y'all. Look, man, listen, I ain't gonna spend too much time on this Will Smith shit, because I'm a man. I don't really want to talk about that type of shit. But it came out a week or so ago. Will Smith bodyguard walked in, saw Will Smith and Dwayne Martin, the star of the movie Above the Rim, co-star in Tupac. He caught them in a compromising situation, doing the unthinkable. And the rumors are true, according to the bodyguard. He said he went on Tasha K and he talked about it. And he said that Will Smith definitely is a part of the community. We all suspected that. If you even pay attention to him and Jada's relationship, it looked like Jada is the one that carries all the masculine energy, and it looked like Will Smith definitely carries the feminine energy. That's what it looked like. It's just looked like Jada is, very much so act like the masculine figure, and Will the emotional, crying, hurt type of, individual in the whole situation. And I think it's pretty much uh, common knowledge. I think it's pretty much true that, Will Smith and Jada have a interesting dynamic in I'm trying to use my words correctly, carefully here. They have an interesting dynamic going on in their relationship to where, it to me, it looked like an open relationship. That's what it looked like to me. You know what I'm saying? From just outside looking in, it looked like an open relationship. They say they had been divorced for a while or separated for a while or whatever, or however you call it. And this is kind of how they've been doing their thing. They've been in the public, uh, putting on the front that they were still, you know, a unified front, but behind closed doors for a long time, they've been able to have different partners and entertain different people outside of their marriage, together and separately, and I mean, with her doing her red table talk, when August Alsina came out and said that Will knew that him and Jada had a thing going on, and Will gave him his consent from when Will Smith went on the award show, I think it was the Oscars, and slapped Chris Rock for allegedly, disrespecting Jada. We was talking about Jada's, bald head hairstyle, and now that we see all of this stuff going on, it's just like, Will, bro, I think you just need to go somewhere and just duck off for like, I'm telling you, like 10 years, dog. Just go duck off for like 10 years. Just escape. Don't let nobody see you. You know what I mean? And you just come back as an old actor like Morgan Freeman, my nigga. No, I'm talking about like for real, bro. Cause it's too much. Like it's too much going on around y'all and y'all relationship, and it's like, where do we begin? Like, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we end? Like, I will say this: Will and Jada seem to be, like, how you want to say this, free thinkers. When they was cultivating this relationship, when they was cultivating this marriage, and they was attempting to raise their children differently, um than traditional ways, and having a marriage that was different than a traditional marriage. Um, they were free thinkers. And I want to say this to y'all, right? I thought about this sometimes. Sometimes the way shit is the way shit should be. And shit should be tinkered with, fucked with, or switched. And I'm gonna give you a case in point. Sometimes things are the way they are because of trial and error, and the centuries of people figuring out what's the best way to do certain things to get the best outcome, right? And I think sometimes when we tinker with these things because we free thinkers or we think we know it all, I think we end up messing up sometimes, and there's no way to fix it. Like, I'm gonna give you a case in point. The way they raise their children definitely different from traditional ways to raise the children. Do you see what's happened to those children in their young adulthood, from the way that they was raised? You got both of them that got childhood trauma. Both of them done uh relayed that they have issues that they deal with mentally, psychologically, from their upbringing. You get what I'm saying? But these are the parents that tried to raise their kids a way that they saw fit because they were so-called free thinkers. Man, fuck all that. Sometimes raise them children how your grandmama and them raised your mama and them, or your great grandmama and them raised them. Them older people, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, they had it pretty much down pat. That age group, that age group right there with your grandmama and your great grandmama and them, they had that shit pretty much down pat. Now my generation nowadays, that's, you know what I mean, and the generations after me, we fucking up. You know what I'm saying? But my generation was okay. We was the generation that came behind the deadbeat dads. Like, we was the ones who had the deadbeat dads, and a lot of us got that shit right and corrected that shit from the deadbeat dads. You see what I'm saying? So my generation was kind of all right. Now you got deadbeat dads in my generation too, but it was also some men that was trying to not be deadbeat dads because they had deadbeat dads. So my generation kind of all right, but the generation about 2 generations before that, like my granddad and them, not my dad and them, my granddad and them, they pretty much had it right. Your grandmama and them, which would be your great grandmama, your great granddaddy, because I'm a little older, they pretty much had it right. You know what I'm saying? The manners, the you know what I mean, the west shorts on your skirt if you're a your little girl, and you know what I'm saying, that type of shit. Don't sit around and listen to grown people talk and yes ma'am, no ma'am, clean that room, rake that yard, you know, that was the way. You know what I'm saying? To build character, to build self-respect, to build uh abilities that children could use, and you know what I'm saying? And they also, even though, you know, children should have a voice, you know, they kept children in children's places, and children wasn't privy to a lot of the adult shit. And I think that hurts too. Whereas Will and Jada and them, they raise their kids as free thinkers, not them children is having identity crisis. I can't tell you whether the little boy is a little girl and the little girl is a little boy. I can't even tell you, bro. It's, to me, it seems like the little boy is a little girl and the little girl is a little boy. I don't know. But I'm just saying that little boy that I saw on all those movies that I thought was gonna grow up to be like this great actor and this and that boy look like a goddamn drug addict now. You know what I'm saying? And I heard he's a part of the alphabet community as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Probably from some of the things that he witnessed go on in his household. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just assuming. But what I'm saying is the experiment that Will and Jada used their marriage as, I think we can all say it was a failure. It's a failure. It's a failure. It's a failure. You know what I'm saying? It's a failure on all fronts. It failed the children. The children have, to the point where the little boy went and got emancipated from his parents when he was a teenager. He didn't even want to be like, he didn't want them to have no control over of his finances. He wanted to get away from them, because I could only imagine the things that they had going on that those children knew about, heard about, or saw. You get what I'm saying? Like, August Alsina was Jaden's friend, and your friend ended up being in a entanglement with your mom and possibly your dad, because August Alsina came out as a part of that alphabet community as well after that. And August Alsina said that Will gave him his blessing. Who knows if Will would have been in, who knows if Will wasn't in the other room looking through the peephole, playing Puff Daddy, playing with himself while August was in there with Jada. Who knows? I'm pretty sure all kind of weird shit went on, if we are to believe all of the shit that they say about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Now we got a bodyguard coming out saying that Will Smith and Dwayne Martin, he saw them in compromised situation doing the unthinkable. Like, are any of us surprised? No, because we done heard these rumors about Will Smith for years now. Then when we get the facts about the situation with the entanglement with August Alsina, it all lines up. It all lines up. How Will behaving, the type of things that we hear they got going on, it all lines up, man. It all lines up. They had an open relationship. Will, like, allegedly. He like men and women, allegedly. And Jada, she having her fun too. And this is the stories that we hear. I heard, and this is just a rumor, I heard that Dwayne Martin, the guy who, the actor, the comedian, or whatever you want to call him, who Will Smith bodyguard said he caught Will Smith and him in a compromising situation. I heard that him, Will, and Jada, and this is all fair use, this is a rumor, this is not fact, this is just something I heard, already had been hanging out doing the Puff Daddy and Cassie thing for a while. And I heard that they was trying to get Gina, Tisha Campbell, Martin's girlfriend off the show Martin, also the co-host of House Party and a host of other movies and shows. I heard that they had been trying to get her for a while to join the party, so to speak, which is he was Dwayne Martin. She was Dwayne Martin's husband. So they were saying that Will and Jada and him already had been, and now our powers combined. But they was trying to get Tisha Campbell in the clique as well. And for some reason she was like maybe apprehensive about it or bucket. I don't know if they eventually got her. I tend to think they got her. And, you know what I mean? Because she was married to Dwayne Martin for a long time. For this not to have done went on, and there was a lot of outside pressure. I think Will was one of the biggest actors at this time in the box office. And I could see them, and they all close friends. So I could see them, or were close friends, because I don't think she fucked with Will or Jada them no more. But I could see them possibly getting her once or twice. You know what I'm saying? But for on whatever court, they say that that wasn't her thing or whatever. And when she divorced Dwayne Martin, they were in financial troubles. When she tried to sell the house to get money to move on, she found out that the house that they lived in was no longer owned by the bank. The house that they lived in was owned by Will and Jada. And Dwayne had went behind her back and got Will and Jada to pay off because they was in financial trouble. So he got them to buy the house from the bank, and he was paying Will and Jada the mortgage on the house, unbeknownst to Tisha Campbell. So when she divorced Dwayne Martin and tried to bust down the assets so she could have some money to move on, she couldn't even sell the house because she didn't own the house. They didn't own the house. Will and Jada owned the house. You see what I'm saying? And this could have been possibly part of the pressure that they was putting on Dwayne to get Tisha. And now our powers combine. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, these people with power and money, bro. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so if we own your house, right? Me and my wife own your house. We want your lady. You know, Jada might have this, you know, like I'll tell you, like Jada look like she's aggressive. She look like she the type that, you know what I mean? Like if she sees something she wants, she gonna try to get it. You feel me? So who knows if it was like, okay, Dwayne, we done had you. We want her now. We want her because she said no. She said no, she's not gonna do it. Yes, she is gonna do it. We're gonna get her to do it, and you're gonna get her to do it for us because we own your house. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just putting the shit all together. You know, and Tisha Campbell talked about this. She talked about how she found out that they owned the house and all of this type of shit. And she done said like little slick shit over the years in so many ways, in so many words, letting y'all know that they tried it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, dog. But yeah, so they say Will Smith is a funzanoon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chicks 1000, aka the Chick 1K. Will Smith is a funzanoon. He farts in the bathtub and bites the bubbles. And Dwayne Martin, he ain't on it with him. So the bodyguard say, and hey, I don't got no problem with the alphabet community. Hey, live y'all life, how y'all choose to live y'all life. I told y'all, don't worry about what I think. If that's how you feel, it's 2023. It's your prerogative. Like Bobby Brown, it's your prerogative. That don't mean that I ain't gonna blog on it. That don't mean that I ain't gonna crack a couple jokes here and there about it. But do the fuck I really care? No, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you find you somebody who like you in order to do whatever you like to do in your private life, that's your business. Now, if you doing that shit what Puff Daddy got going on, we got a problem with that. But if you got some willing participants and y'all all grown, consenting age, and ain't nobody getting hurt, man, I don't give no fucks, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna end this live. I'll be probably pulling back up on y'all in the morning. Get me a little sleep. I gotta go to work in a little bit, probably like 5, 6 in the morning. So, but it's gonna be a little short day, probably about 6 hours or whatever. But I'm gonna hit you guys tomorrow. Probably hit y'all with some more content. I'm gonna clip up some of this Triple Threat Friday interview with Ceddy Nash, so you guys can hear some more of the things that Ceddy Nash said. Because he said a lot of funny stuff, man. We had some funny times in there as well. And he said a lot of interesting stuff. He talked about King AK-47. He said, man, fuck AK. You know what I'm saying? Because, AK was going on live, kind of like cracking jokes on Ceddy about the news interview clipping or whatever. But it was all in good fun, and he wasn't serious about it. And but I did ask him about that, and he addressed that as well. But him and AK-47, they're pretty cool. They, you know what I mean. So it was all in good fun. But I did ask him about it, and I got him to give us a quote or comment on it. That's what I do, bro. If y'all ain't paid attention, when I be talking to these people, when I be having the opportunity to ask these people questions, I'm gonna ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? I might play dumb. Sometimes I got like 2 or 3 styles. Sometimes I play dumb. Sometimes I play funny. Sometimes I, talk about myself in order to get the people to open up. But I'm gonna ask them motherfucking questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask them questions. But because I know those questions that you guys want answers to. Shout out Chicks 1000, aka the Chick 1K. Shout out Anonymous 1. Shout out to Nay said, I appreciate you, Nay. Shout out to KL1K. Shout out Nephew for Real. Shout out Flyboy Michael 4. Shout out Music 101. Go subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Silk Foster Jr. Shout out to Kamel Kimmel. Shout out to Bradley DeCara. Shout out to I'm missing somebody here. Audio Crack 22. Shout out to fuck, I'm missing some people. Shout out to Mary Jackson, aka Peanut. Shout out to Kitty. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Mr. 36. Shout out to Trigger Man. Tell him, goddamn me, it's gonna be all right. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel right now. Shout out to Pooh Black. Shout out to Lil Kel's Truth Movement. Go subscribe to his channel. Shout out to Randy. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Cat Love. Appreciate you, Cat, for being in the chat. Shout out to Boredom and Clicks, man. Y'all go subscribe to Boredom and Clicks as well, man. Shout out to Ursula Amos. Appreciate you, Ursula, coming through with the positivity always. Who else? I feel like I'm missing a lot of people. Shout out to It's Aaron's Way. Shout out to Dre 6100. Who else? Shout out to Invisible Woman. Shout out to Tania Bowens. Who else? Shout out to Damian Franklin. Shout out to Galen Kroger. Shout out to J6 and Z. I think I said that right. I'm not sure. Shout out to Lil A. I think I said Lil A. Who else, man? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I don't know, man. I can't remember everybody else. But if I did call your name, I apologize. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Comment to this video. Let me know how y'all feel about anything that I had to say about Will, Jada, Puff Daddy, Young Miami. Oh, that's another thing I want to say too, y'all. If Puff Daddy is doing this or did this to Cassie, I can imagine what Young Miami going through. And I ain't talking about the abuse. I'm just talking about the sexual situations. Because we all know that it said that Puffy pays her $250,000 per month, to be his You know, it's boo thing or whatever you want to call it, whatever the term. So knowing what we know about Puffy or what we think we know about Puffy, and what we have heard Young Miami say, oh yeah, Puffy be peeing on me. I like when he pee on me. Who knows what else she, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, that's the first thing I thought about, or the second thing I thought about when I heard these Cassie allegations. Like, for real, for real. Shout out to Ceddy Nash, too, for pulling up the Triple Threat Friday, man. For real, for real. For real, though. But good night, y'all. Like, we're gonna figure out some more shit. We're gonna talk about some more shit tomorrow. But I just thought about, like, Young Miami, like, baby, like, God damn. All for money, fright chick, all for money. That shit crazy as hell. My daughter better not never ever let no nigga pee on her. I don't give no fucks. I don't give no damn. What? I raised you better than that. I raised you to have more self-worth in yourself than to let a dude pee on you for sexual gratification, for a bag. No, me and my kids, mama, God rest her soul, we didn't raise our children like that. No, hell no. You gotta have self-respect. For real. For real. Shout out to AN4111. But I'm gonna get off this thing, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Chill.